I'm going to teach you how to ship trading cards like a pro, whether it's sports, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, whatever you need, you can ship it like this. There's a lot of new people in the hobby. There's a lot of new people trying to sell. So I am making a quick little video of what I do here at Heavenly Collectibles. A lot of people overthink how to ship cards, and it's 10 times easier than you think. Depending on the price of the card is how I ship a card. Who am I? I'm Heavenly Collectibles. I've shipped probably over 400 plus cards on eBay and whatnot. Links down below. I have 100% positive feedback on my eBay store and on my whatnot. So I must be doing something kind of correct. Let's get into everything that you need to start. Today we're going to pretend to ship this Roark card. First, you're going to need to sleeve him up. Well, that is if I can put it in. That's what she said. Unintentionally. But you need a sleeve. You can't ship cards that are sleeveless. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Also, do not do this. Do not raw dog the card in a top loader. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. Card probably will stay pretty minty if you shove it in here. But just don't do that. Just don't do that. It's a very bad no-no. Always sleeve your cards no matter what. Absolutely unnecessary. We're going to need top loaders. Whether it's a semi-rigid card holder or a, rough, durable one. We're going to need both of these. I'm going to show you how I ship multiple cards and how I ship just like one or two. We're going to put this card into the top loader. There's going to be a little resistance. You got to beat that motherfucker down. Beat him down. Like it's your child you're disciplining. You got to beat the fuck out of him. I'm just kidding. Ever so slightly. But always use a top loader. Now, I've heard some people's horror stories using this, but for me starting out, I just used plain old painter's tape. This is going to be your friend. Don't use duct tape. Don't use scotch tape. Don't use any other tape. This tape doesn't leave a residue. You can easily take it off of anything. You can put this on graded cards. You can put this on anything without it leaving a sticky residue that's going to fuck up the card or the graded card. So, we're going to peel off a little bit. It doesn't have to be like this. This is just how I peeled it off. And then we're going to just put it over. And then bam, you're ready to ship the card out. Honestly, a lot of people overthink how to ship their cards because I understand it's cardboard. It's very prone to being bent, ripped, whatever. But a lot of people go OD with it. You don't need to go OD with it. I've sent many cards just like this in plain white envelopes and they've came out fine. Now that I'm more comfortable with plain white envelopes, I think I'm probably going to do my $10 and below orders in plain white envelopes. And then everything above that's going to be bubble mailers. I highly suggest if you're starting a business, get some team bags. It's going to make your shipping look so much more professional and way better than just some tape. I've got these a few months ago and I'm never going to go back to just tape. I'm going to get in some graded card sleeves so I can do the semi-rigid. Alright, so now that it's in the team bag, it's going to act like, the tape. It's going to allow it to not fly out. It's going to look nice. You can write a little something on there if you really want to. Be like, thank you. And it's going to be nice and cute. So now how I pack plain white envelopes is I get a little piece of construction paper. I open up the plain white envelope and I just shove that motherfucker in here. It should just be fine. Especially if you I'm struggling right now. Well, there we go. Especially if it's in a top loader and in a team bag, should be fine. My dog is barking in my background, probably because of the mailman. I used the construction tape to add a tiny bit more padding, but also to obstruct the view. It just kind of looks like there's a piece of tape in here, or a piece of paper in here. Not a piece of tape, my bad. So now, I have a thermal printer. You should invest in a thermal printer too. I'm going to make a video later this week also called How to Start a Pokemon Business in 2025. Blah, 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 because I know so much about it. But what you're going to do? Oh, don't do like that. I just seal it like this. I have just the way this is all. I would make it look better. I would make it look better. Hold up. I would make it look better. Just fold it like that. And then I just kind of have it like taped up. You would obviously center it better and make it look better. Don't do as I say. Don't do as I do. You would obviously just fold all the edges. You know, sometimes shit happens. But, you know, obviously center it better. Make it look pretty. And then bam. Just have this sealed. You'll know if, you know, the seal is broken or not. Yeah. Multiple cards, I'm going to use a semi-rigid. These guys are beautiful. I love these guys. I would like to use them more often. I like to kind of try to make them, you know, a little centered. They're both on top of each other. Just push that shit down like so. And then I don't have sleeves to cover this. I need to buy some graded card sleeves to cover my semi-rigid. What I do is I just take a piece of tape now and should just seal it in. Like there's no chance of these riding up and then like the tape fucking it up at all. And I should just keep it sealed. As you can see, there's like no give right here, so they're not coming out with there. Sometimes I do this method with like, you know, $10 plus cards, just so like, because of the 1 ounce shipping. This is far lighter than a heavy top loader, just to make sure that it doesn't get sent back if I'm using a bubble mailer. All right, we just sold this card for $10. We're going to grab ourselves our bubble mailer. What we're gonna do is just slide that bitch in there. It should be good to go. It's already bubble wrapped. It's already in a top loader. It's already in a team bag. It's already in a sleeve. This should be indestructible. Unless like they're having a dance party on top of this, that's all you need to do. Like, you don't need to put extra cardboard. You don't need to put bubble wrap. I only bubble wrap it if I'm selling a graded card, just because of how big it is. I just don't want it to, like, I don't know, somehow snap or something. But I've had graded cards shipped to me in a bubble mailer just like this in a guarded sleeve, and it come in crispy as can be. So people go OD and overthink like how to ship things, when in reality you just need a top loader, a bubble mail. Whoa, dropped my phone. When in reality, you just need a top loader, a bubble mailer, and a piece of painter's tape. Don't use any other tape. This is how I shipped hundreds of cards. I haven't had any complaints about damage. There was one time, once, I got the card sent back to me, and I don't know why. I think it had to do something with the weight, but it was 2 ounce shipping and there was 3 cards in there, and it should have been covered easily. So I don't know what happened there. That's the only time. I took an L on those cards to make sure bro got them. But that's what you got to do to run a business. Now, if you're shipping a stack of cards like this, you're going to need to invest in some hobby armor, which I have not invested in. I need to do that. I need to get graded card sleeves and hobby armor, but I've just been buying a lot of Pokemon cards. But you can always do it the bootleg version, which is just cutting out pieces of cardboard, the sides of it, and just taping each way so no cards go left or right or up and down and fly out. That should protect them pretty easily. And you don't really have to use, you know, sleeves and stuff with top loaders. You can just put a top loader or a top loaded card on top You can just put a top-loaded card on top right here and a top-loaded card on the bottom, and then put the cardboard and tape it around. It's not rocket science. A lot of people want to go OD with their shipping, but in reality, you don't. Just keep it simple. Make sure you top load it. Make sure you sleeve your card. Make sure it's in a team bag or has a piece of tape on top of it, because you don't want it to go flying out mid-shipping. Shove it in a bubble mailer, should be perfectly fine. Even in a plain white envelope, it should be perfectly fine. But you should be using plain white envelopes for lower dollar items. Other than that, don't overthink it. You'll be shipping like a pro instantaneously.